I've just made a temporary decision after a little bit of an epiphany that I've had this lonely Friday afternoon, this foggy, dark, lonely, depressing, unemployed Friday afternoon, taking a little writing black coffee break. Also, so happy that the one pencil I found from the clutter and the what's it called, sharpener that I found literally matches. You don't understand how happy little things like this make me. It matches. I actually love the colours purple and pink. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, so the epiphany I've had. I love everyone. I really do. Enemies, allies, racists, criminals, Samaritans, pescatarians, carnivores, vegans, vegetarians, Muslims, Hindus, Christians, atheists, unemployed people, employed people, coffee drinkers, non-coffee drinkers, homeless people, well-homed people, people from all the continents. I'm not on any substances. I've not even had any painkillers today. I've not even taken my supplements. The only thing I've drank today is this black coffee, and I promise that this is my final beverage before I go on the strike. And the strike includes, or the strike involves, waiting until I'm actually offered a job, because I have reached the end of this year after every insult and I remain unemployed. It's not fair, but going back to the point I was making, and I don't even mean this in a jokey way, everyone who has violated me this year, everyone who has betrayed me this year, everyone who has humiliated me this year, I love you. I do. I don't even mean that in a jokey way, because you're all my fellow human beings, and none of us are any more inferior or superior to anyone. I've been practicing my specific religion of Hinduism and spirituality for many years now, and I've decided that for me to be hateful and begrudging and wanting revenge and wasting my precious time, energy, money, resources and other blessings on trying to get justice and revenge and closure and peace when it might never even happen is a complete waste of the wonderful person that I am. Pardon me. I am far too intelligent, far too pure, far too good, far too kind, far too brave, far too strong, far too knowledgeable, far too loved, far too old, frankly, to be wanting to get my own back on every one of you wrongdoers. Because even if I were to get the revenge and the justice, would I actually be any happier if my internal state has not shifted? And the answer to that is no. I'm going to keep this little chat about the epiphany under 10 minutes, but yeah, I genuinely, I don't know if it's this coffee, to be honest. I have a migraine, and I read that coffee is supposed to help. That doesn't mean, by the way, that I'm going to go back to the friends that I've cut out. I forgive them, I love them, I appreciate them, but I don't need them. I've decided, as a very independent young person, yes, I mean that, being unemployed doesn't necessarily mean you're not independent, by the way. Can I just make that very bold statement? And I'm sure many people who are perhaps in a similar situation to me can agree. Being unemployed does not necessarily mean you are not independent, because even as an unemployed person, with the with the limited amount of money I'm given, I still contribute. I still contribute to businesses. The food that I've purchased until it ran out was from supermarkets, meaning that I contributed to the supermarkets. You have to think in this mindset. If I wasn't in a struggling position, I wouldn't need to go and claim such a so-called benefit. But at the end of the day, that's my money. I love myself, I love you, I love everyone. That money isn't a handout. This woman said to me this year, and I really love the fact that I remember this. I believe she was called Michelle, and she said, think of it as a hand up, which I know sounds a little bit strange to people who have a bit of an odd mind, but it is. It's not a permanent fix, but it's a temporary solution until I get to where I want to, and absolutely will get to, it's a temporary solution to where I want to be, right? How many other people do I know that are plagued with this many physical symptoms all at once? The excruciating agony of prurigo nodularis, from which I lose so much blood every day. How many people do I know who are this isolated? How many people do I know who are in this much poverty? How many people do I know that have gone through this much harassment within 1 year alone, never mind the last 29 years? How many people do I know whose mother was married to a man 30 years older than her, whose half-sister is the same age as her mother, as in my mother, not her mother obviously? How many people do I know whose 6 half-siblings abused them when they were growing up? How many people do I know whose father passed away when he was 92 years of age, when they were estranged? How many people do I know that grew up in such a toxic environment that getting through each day without committing suicide or murdering anybody was a victory in itself? Okay, I have to really look at it from this perspective, which is all these people who are criticising me and wrongdoing against me do not know me. Therefore, I love them, I forgive them, I appreciate them, because they're on their own learning journeys. Once again, I'd just like to reiterate, I'm not on any substances. The only substance I've had is caffeine, which is a little bit of a challenging one because I seem to be both intolerant to but also fond of coffee. Also, I'm going to become a vegan. If obviously if I continue eating, let's say someone offers me a job and I continue eating, then yeah, I'm going to be a vegan. It's decided. For the planet, for my good, for everything. Forget the protein rubbish. You can get protein from plant-based food. You just have to be intelligent about it. I'm not going to die without eating meat. What else would I like to say within the 10 minutes? Yeah, so this is a very bold thing for me to say, but temporarily at least, in spite of everything that people have done against me. By the way, I don't know what these signify, but I'm going to pretend that's my dad and that's my mum. And they're watching over me and wish me well, even though I'm not with them. I cried and prayed about my daddy today, as I do most days. I'm not going to cry in this. I'm not